1, 2, 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to HOJO. I am HJ. Today, I just want to pop one in real quick here, just a quick little thing. Of course, quick in my book, that's not quick has never really been in my wheelhouse, and you'll find that out. Anyway, as a lot of you are doing right now, you're cooking a lot more, obviously, because it's just unsafe to get out. So you're cooking a lot more. As am I. I have always been an avid cook. I've always cooked. I don't know about you, but I'm finding issues with portion control, not necessarily in the fact that I eat too much. Because strangely enough, even though I'm a large guy, I really don't eat that much. It's a very, very odd thing. I'm just, I'm big boned. Portion control in actual making too much. I used to work for a diner for several years. My family owned a diner. Really awesome place. A lot of great times in my life were built in that diner, and a lot of great recipes were built in that diner. Unfortunately, those recipes are made for large amounts of people. They're not really made for 1 or 2 or 3 people. So it's always been difficult for me to just, make one meal for one person and then, be done. All these other meal prep plans out there, these fresh things that people are ordering through the mail, it gives them like one meal, for 1 or 2 people or something like that. That I can't even conceive that. That makes no sense to me. I would not be able to deal with that, because after all that work, I know that I'd be thinking to myself, well, what am I going to eat later? What's my snack? What's second breakfast? What's for lunch tomorrow? I've discussed kind of this thing before about how I make my food on the weekends and kind of deal without the rest of the week. However, that's how I've combat this single serving type food prep. Because I can't do it. Because I can't do that, it's led to a lot of wonderful things, especially during this time. And we know that I'm cheap. What I like to do is purchase strange meats, old school meats and things like that to flavor my food, instead of always getting, the mainstream stuff. Like, everybody loves bacon. I love bacon. I'm a huge bacon fan. I've got a friend out there that I remember we were having this conversation, and we were talking about all the most wonderful things in the world, and I was like, oh, chocolate and bacon, and she was like, don't like bacon, don't like chocolate. I'm like, okay, how do you survive, lady? How do you live, man? I love bacon. I love to flavor most of my foods with bacon or bacon grease. However, bacon, in case you haven't noticed, is expensive. These things that used to be cheap, like bacon and chicken wings. Remember when chicken wings were the cheapest meat you could buy? Now they're like $1 something a pound. Anyway, I purchased these other meats like hog jowl and fatback, things like that. You can find them pre-sliced, and especially in the case of the hog jowl, you can get almost twice the amount of product for a third or 2/3 of the price of the regular amount of bacon. It's not great for if you're looking for actual meat. It's not a great thing. But if you're looking for flavoring, it's absolutely perfect, because it renders down into this wonderful, beautiful oil and grease that's not actually as heavy as regular bacon grease. It's a bit lighter, and man, the flavor is just unbelievable. I highly recommend it. Check it out. Sliced hog jowl, unbelievable. Very, very good for flavoring things such as beans and rice and cabbage, things like that. Duality of man, that's what makes us man. So deal with it and move on. Look through it and find what I'm really trying to talk about here. So anyway, going back to beans and rice, I love doing beans and rice. I love them in every way, and I love them in every way, shape, form, and fashion. Beans and rice, all of them. That is the way to go when I go to any type of Mexican restaurant. That's what I want. Give me extra beans, rice, and cheese, please. Everything else is great, but give me extra beans, rice, and cheese. Of course, there are a few rules. Number one, there's salsa. All right? If the salsa's not good, the restaurant's not going to be good. Number two, their guacamole. Same concept. If it's canned, guacamole, cheap stuff, it's not going to be good. If it's made there every day, it's going to be a good place. You know it is. You know it is. And number three, the carnitas. If they can't get pork right, then they can't get anything right. Look, I am a fat man. I cannot judge people running, all right, because I can't do it. That's just how that is. Ergo, if you can't taste food and if you don't like the taste of food, you cannot judge food. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. Anyway, but going back to beans and rice, in college, we used to make this thing called thud. It was named more appropriately not for what it was made of, but for the sound that it makes when it came out of you. Thud was basically ramen and rice with Velveeta and anything else that you could scrape together and put into your pot together with it. I don't advise making this nowadays, but if you would like to make thud, this is the base recipe. All right? You got your pens and pencils ready? Here we go. All right. You take 4 packets of any type of ramen. I suggest a cheese ramen, only because it tends to work with everything else. Most people choose the chicken. Some people like to live crazy and get 4 different kinds of ramen, but 4 packs of ramen. 1 block of Velveeta cheese, or, in my case, the cheapest processed cheese product that you can purchase, and 1 large box of minute rice. Add to this at least 2 cans of any vegetable that you may have laying around, and just make it. Just put it all together. Just put it all together and make it. Make the ramen first. Put the cheese in there. Make the ramen first, then put the rice in there to soak up all the water from the ramen, and then you put your cheese in there with your vegetables. It's not a difficult thing. I don't advise it, but it will sustain you. It will sustain you for a long time. Now is the time for the single man to thrive. I mean, now is a single man's dream, I would say. A single man's dream is to be married with kids and have somebody else cooking his food. I'm sorry. Was that way too transparent? That was transparent, wasn't it? Maybe that's just my particular dream today. Don't worry, tomorrow it'll be totally different, because I have issues. The people up here never know what they really want. Get creative with your food prep. Get creative with your cooking. Have fun while you're cooking. Half of the enjoyment is the actual cooking process. It needs to taste good. But, I find if you look at it more like a science project, more like a scientific study, then you're going to have more fun in it. And, you're going to be educated no matter what. No matter how it turns out. It could turn out really bad, but you'll remember, hey, that doesn't work. Those 2 flavors, not a good combo. But you may also think, wow, those 2 flavors, never thought that those would go well together. So during this time, I encourage you just to get out there and, get in there into the kitchen and just have fun. Go through your pantry. See what you have. Start picking random things, putting them together and cooking them. And remember, if you use a base of beans and rice, you can never go wrong. Well, you can go wrong. You can go very, very wrong. But not as easily with that base of beans and rice. Just food for thought. See? Food. Thanks again for stopping by and checking the channel out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what's going on. If you like the channel, hey, make your voice heard. Let me know about it, because I have such a fragile ego that every good word really helps me. I'm joking. No, not really. All right, stay inside and stay safe. Until the next video, a little bit of love, a little bit of light, a little bit of laughter, and hopefully a little bit of logic. We'll see you soon.